Have you ever seen a business idea or an app on your phone and said, I wish I'd thought of that? Well, one preteen has us all beat, and he's going to help people around the world in the process.
My idea is simple, to create an app to be used by people with disabilities to help them navigate the world.
Just recently, Alex won first place in the Young Inventors Challenge from AT&T and the Innovation Foundation. Around 350 students from across the world, high schoolers included, submitted entries for the competition.
The inventive redhead is already a CEO, creator of the Ability app.
And it shows all of the different hotels that you can select that have disability-friendly features.
When finished, it'll be like Yelp for accessibility, with information about wheelchair ramps, disabled parking, braille menus, and more. He came up with the idea after seeing someone in a wheelchair struggle to open a door.
So I wondered if there was an app or website that could have told him what stores around the area had automatic doors.
Our next guest is a young app creator from Post Falls, Idaho. Please welcome 12-year-old Alex Knoll.
Ellen, you found a great one here.
I don't know if my mic's working. We'll see. I think it is. So let's get started. Thank you all for having me today, and I'm very excited to be here. The world is changing at an extraordinary rate, a rate like never before. Our future is bright. Our future is abundant. Today we are going to look into the future of technology and examine the roles that engineers and computer scientists will play in our future. We'll talk about an incredible opportunity that we all have access to if we are willing to put in the work necessary to join in on a very exciting new future. I've had the privilege to recently hang out with many of the people on this planet that are helping shape our future by creating the technologies of tomorrow. People like Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, and Peter Diamandis, founder of the X Prize and Singularity University. I've studied our current technology and how its upward rate of trajectory will shape future technologies. I'm excited to share with you a little bit about a project that I'm working on to make this world a better place for people with disabilities. But first, I want to share with you some good news. As many of you know, we are living in extraordinary times. Life for us as humans has never been better than it is right now. Let's look at some statistics from the world today and compare them to the recent past. So some of these examples that I will show you today come from a great book called Abundance, written by Peter Diamandis. In this book, we are reminded of how this world is better than it has ever been. Here's some examples that he uses. Slavery has been in decline throughout the world since 1750, where he saw more than 70% of the world's population acting as a slave or servant for others. Of course, we still have a long way to go in eliminating slavery from this planet completely, but comparatively speaking, we have come a long way. The number of hours worked annually by the average person throughout the world have dropped dramatically. We've seen the number of hours worked by the average person be cut by more than half. Education levels for women have improved dramatically since 1920. The percentage of degrees awarded to women, like a law degree or medical degree, have raised from near 0% in 1920 to over 40% today. Deaths due to war have varied widely throughout the world since 1900, but statistics show that we are currently living in the most peaceful time in human history. Regarding safety and transportation, we have never been safer traveling by airplane or automobile since their invention. Death rates for mothers and infants during birth have plummeted in the last 100+ years, from scarily high rates to very low rates today. Worldwide life expectancy continues to climb. We've seen the average life expectancy go from 26 years in 1820 to 67 years in 2010. Many now predict that some of us will live up to 130 years of age in the very near future. Perhaps one of the best pieces of statistical information is the decline of poverty rates over the last 100+ years. We've seen the number of people living on less than $1.25 a day decrease by nearly 2 billion people. Most of these examples of positive change in the world are largely due to improvements in technology. These improvements in technology are being driven by computer scientists. Many of them from the school, the University of Idaho, and the College of Engineering. Computer scientists are positively impacting the world all around us more and more every day. In the world of public transportation, engineers are changing the way that we get around. With new digitally based transportation services like Uber and Lyft. Engineers are rapidly changing the manufacturing industry through the creation of 3D printers. With a modern 3D printer, you will be able to create anything for very little money, from parts and pieces to shoes and clothing, to motorcycles and automobiles, and food and human organs. 3D printing is growing rapidly, and the technology is becoming better and faster. In a few years, it may be possible to manufacture a wide variety of goods on demand and at home. This will disrupt the manufacturing industry and diminish the importance of logistics and inventory management. Goods will no longer have to be transported overseas. Computer scientists have created an entire new industry in the world of travel, with new services like Airbnb, where you can stay in someone's home instead of a hotel at half the price. Engineers are changing the way we manage money by creating new banking services. Computer scientists are changing the way we pay for goods with modern service methods like Apple Pay and PayPal, which are creating a situation where cash is becoming unnecessary. Computer scientists are also developing new and exciting technologies like drones, which will likely change the way products will be delivered to us in the very near future. As a computer scientist, you can create literally anything you dream up. To me, this is very exciting. If you learn the skills necessary, you can literally create anything. You can change the world. People that have the skills necessary to interact with technology are likely to succeed. If you look around more and more, every day you're being surrounded by machines. This trend will continue, and the role of machines in our lives will change rapidly as the time goes on. Having the ability to interact with these machines will be a very important skill to have in the future. Learning the language of code will allow us to interact with these machines. If you know how to speak the language, and if you have the skills necessary to interact with the machines of the near future, you will gain a huge competitive advantage. Our future will require all of us, young and old, to acquire the skills necessary to interact with our ever-changing modern world. I see that we have many young people in the audience today. We are tomorrow's leaders. The world needs us to be at our best. As young people in today's modern world, we can create anything for very little money. We all have access to the tools that give us the tools necessary to positively impact the world. No generation before us has had the opportunity like all of us have today. Never before has it been so easy to reach so many and change lives for the better. Today, anyone can start a business with few resources. All we need to find a high level of success is a great disruptive idea, some grit, tenacity, and a laptop. Thanks to new ways of thinking and education, kids in school today are being taught the skills to become very strong competitors. We are not afraid of failure. We are being taught to become great risk takers. Many of us are being taught that failure is okay, that failure is just part of the process, part of the journey, in business, design, engineering, etc. If we fail, we don't give up. Learning from our mistakes and getting creative gives us a greater chance of success on the next go-around. I think it is important to say that although there has never been a time in human history where it has been easier to change the world, hard work will still be part of your journey. Failure will be a factor in your path as well. It is so important not to get discouraged when you face failure. We must remember that on the other side of the failure, there is wisdom that will serve us down the road. Now I'd like to take a few minutes and share with you a project that I'm working on to make this world a better place for people with disabilities. As I've been told, and as I'm beginning to figure out on my own, nothing comes easy in this life. You have to work hard if you want to accomplish something great. Some things are harder to come by than others. And sometimes we have to overcome obstacles that could potentially make life even harder still. I want to take you along with me and tell you my story. A story about a young man attempting to start his own company, a company with a mission to solve one of the world's biggest problems, accessibility. Accessibility to public spaces, accessibility for everyone, especially people with disabilities. Accomplishing great things in our lives can be difficult, but we all have greatness in us. We all have the ability to accomplish great things. All we have to do is set our mind to accomplishing the task before us and push forward each day until our goals are met. We have to dig deep down inside of ourselves and find the motivation to serve our purpose, our mission, and our goals. Did you know that people with disabilities are the world's largest minority group? About 1 in 5 people have a disability in the United States. That's over 1 billion people throughout the world who have some form of a disability. Did you know that people with disabilities do not have a resource readily available in one easy-to-access location to inform them about the disability-friendly features they may or may not find at the places they visit throughout the country or the world, or find safe, reliable services and employment opportunities? That is, until now. I've been working hard to try to develop Ability app to solve these problems. Although my app isn't fully developed yet, I've been working hard for the past 4 years to try to get my app developed. But thanks to some great people here at the University of Idaho, staff and students, we're on the road to getting Ability app completed. Now here's a short introductory video on Ability app from my parents on the Ellen DeGeneres Show.
Our next guest is a young app creator who had the sweetest reaction when we told him he was coming on the show. Take a look.
Oh my gosh! No, hi!
Oh, Ellen wants you to come and be on her show next week.
What? No, Mom! Oh my... No! Oh my gosh, thank you!
From Post Falls, Idaho, please welcome 12-year-old Alex Knoll. Hi.
Hi.
I am so happy to meet you.
This is so great.
Oh,
Thank you.
You're so incredible. You're amazing. I learned about you because you wrote into the website and you told us about your app. Why did you write in?
Well, you're just my hero. Oh, I can't believe it. You're my hero, and just thank you so much for having me on. This is incredible.
Oh, well, thanks so much. Well, all right, so tell people about, he's creating this app to help people with disabilities, which is the most amazing thing. Tell people what you're doing.
Okay, well, Ability app will be a free app or website that will help people with disabilities navigate public spaces and find safe, reliable services and employment opportunities.
It's amazing. All right. So tell everybody why you wanted, how you had this idea.
Okay, well, it all started when I saw a man in a wheelchair and he couldn't open a manual door. So I wondered if there was an app that could have told him what other stores around the area had automatic doors. So that day I went home to do some research and I couldn't find anything like Ability app, so I created it.
So it's not like you had anyone in your family that you just saw a perfect stranger trying to get in a door, struggling, and you thought somebody should be able to look it up and find out where they could go. Unbelievable. Okay, so you have a prototype. Show everybody how you're going to try to get this thing to work.
Okay. Well, this is the homepage of Ability app.
Okay.
It shows all of the different businesses that you can select. So I'm going to click on hotels and travel.
Okay.
And the reason I'm going to do that is because hotels, when disabled people leave the comfort and safety and security of their own home, they don't know what obstacles they're going to face. And the hotels, they may say they're rated accessible, but they're not truly functional to them. So Ability app will tell them what hotels meet their needs. So on Ability app, you can see, okay, this is a list of the different hotels that they can select. So we'll click on this one, for example, if it doesn't. Okay, so it will show all of the disability-friendly features available, and it will show a description of the business and all of the contact information. And people will be able to write reviews on the different businesses, so people actually know if it's accessible for them.
Right. Unbelievable. He's 12 years old, and he's doing it. It's unbelievable. So cool. So you have, and you've won all these awards. You won the Invent Idaho 2015 Best of Show at Regionals. 2015 Best of Show at State, AT&T Young Adventures Competition winner, 3M Young Scientist Challenge for Idaho, iCube Challenge, National Competition winner. I mean, and you deserve to win all these. This is amazing. So what's next for the app? How do you, because it's not ready yet, what's next?
Yeah, well, I have a prototype, which I just showed, of Ability app, and I still need to raise capital and funding to fully develop Ability app. But in the meantime, I spend my time public speaking and posting on social media about the struggles that people with disabilities face every day. Okay. So I'm currently recruiting people who I call Ability Ambassadors. These are volunteers who are getting ready to go out and identify accessible public spaces where they work, live, and play every day. If you're interested in becoming an Ability Ambassador, please visit my website at abilityapp.org. You can click on Become an Ability Ambassador link at the top of the page. I look forward to having you on my team. Most of us here today are truly unaware of the challenges that people with disabilities face in everyday life. Most people have no concept of how difficult it can be for people with disabilities. Many people are just simply unaware of the importance of design with accessibility and inclusion in mind. If given the chance, while being armed with the proper education surrounding design with accessibility in mind, most of us would design our future products or modify our existing products to keep accessibility as a top-of-mind objective. The actions of very few can benefit many, but the actions of all of society as a whole can benefit a much larger group. We can, should, and must put forth a much stronger effort in making our world more accessible for people with disabilities. Now, what I'd really like to talk to you about today is how you can make a positive impact in the world. Einstein once said, "Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile." Make every day ridiculously amazing. Dream big, be strong, help others, keep moving, and see the opportunity in each new day. I wonder how many of you will be able to look back on your own lives and feel the satisfaction that comes with living a life worthwhile. There's still many things you can do in this world in the service of others. A couple of questions for you all. First, think of a time when you did something kind for someone else. How did that make you feel? Did it make you feel happier than if you were to do something for yourself? If you think about it, doing kind for someone else can make you feel great, even greater than doing something for yourself. The idea of helping others is what continues to drive me in the development of Ability app. Make a goal to do something good for others this week. Start with something small, like a positive comment towards your friend, your spouse, or your children. Maybe move on to a service task that for someone that you know might need some help. You don't have to be a Mother Teresa in this world to make a difference. All of us together making small, positive contributions will lift us all up together. In closing, I have learned so much about helping others through this app invention process. It has opened my eyes to the needs of others, shown me how technology can make the world a better place, and given me the motivation to find more ways to help those that need it the most. I urge you to look around and see what things big and small you can do in this world in the service of others. Continue to dream big and never give up. Thank you. Your dreams may come true if you work hard enough and stay focused at the task at hand. Remember, if a 13-year-old kid can make a positive impact in the world, so can you. I hope that you really take a hard look in becoming an engineer here at the University of Idaho. And enjoy the rest of your time here at EXPO. Remember, the magic that is the future starts with what we do with our time today. Thank you.
So we have time for a few questions. Anybody have a question for Alex?
Yeah.
Yes, in the back. Yeah, yes, you. Your hand up. Yeah.
Do you have an option on your app where you can search like by zip code, like for different places?
Absolutely. When the app's done, I'd like to make it so where you're in a specific location will automatically, with GPS, pinpoint where your location is, and it will start searching the different businesses around your area. But you can also enter your zip code in a specific area, like if you're traveling to that area in the future. So, yes. Thank you.
What's your goal for launching your app?
Yes, right now, we're working hard. Like I just mentioned, I hired a student here at the University of Idaho. And we're going to work as hard as we can, as fast as we can, to get it out to people. But I'm just going to say soon, because we don't know the exact date yet. We're going to continue to move on in the development, but yes, it'll be out soon.
What have you developed in your app?
Yes, so my first goal is developing the ambassador app. And that's where the ability ambassadors will enter that information about the accessibility features. So that's my first goal. And then also finding funding for the app so I can continue, make the app be able to sustain itself and continue on going. And then the third one is just getting that main app done. So those are my 3 goals. And yeah, that's kind of what we've done so far. Make a plan.
So you have all of those different options. What are some other options, like other big things that you would like to add?
Yeah, I think that after I get the features out on the app, then I'd like to add in, it will have the option for services. So people with disabilities will be able to look for in-home care, grocery delivery, things like that. And also be able to find a job on the app, be able to look for employers. So those are the 2 things that I'd like to add after the main disability-friendly features is out. So.
You still go to school?
I'm homeschooling now. I just started in November. The schedule was getting so hectic with my teachers. It was difficult, and I would also miss events like these. I wouldn't be here today. But I squeeze in school, and I squeeze in this, I should say. I put school first. I put school first. Yeah, and I do both, and I still do things that come with being a kid, and it works out great. So. Yeah.
Have you tried marketing your idea to people like AAA? It seems like a travel service company should be interested in something like that.
Yeah, I've been pitching investors, angel investors, corporations, and I haven't found anybody yet, but I'm going to continue to do it to get the funding needed for Ability App. But I'm always looking for partners. So.
What was it like to meet your heroes?
I've been very lucky. I think it's been incredible. I've been so blessed to be able to go to Apple. That was very cool. Tim Cook is a very kind man, and he does so many good things for the world. And meeting Ellen was also very cool. So it's been awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
One more question.
What types of phones and tablets are they going to use?
Yeah, any app store. The app's going to be compatible to any app store, any device. And I think that, I should say we will put the information on our website as well, so you won't have to download an app if you don't have access to an app store.
Well, thanks again.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you all.